Hello, everyone, and welcome to Potential Within. I'm so thankful that you are here today. So, today was interesting because I like to channel messages for myself, usually. And today it was very clear from Spirit that this message that I was channeling was for you out there. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you sort of the gist of it. What was the message that I got? We'll do some cards for it. And then if you stick around to the end, I'll actually read the message verbatim for you to consider as well and see what kind of additional information or inspiration or even critical thinking it brings up for you. So the message was very clearly about the mind and the power of the thoughts that we think, and really starting to consider where they're coming from and if they're even yours and if you even like them and would you even want to think these thoughts. So it was really fascinating, and it makes me wonder what's happening with the energy. There seems to be some introspection energy going on. There seems to be this challenging of this reality that we're sort of ingrained into as like a reality, and yet we're waking up to maybe it's not what it appears to be or what we're told it is. There's some challenging to it that's happening within our psyche, I'm hearing. So this is a collective energy. So it might be happening for you in a personal level. Man, sorry, I gotta like stabilize this energy. It's really strong. It's vibrant. It's a vibrant energy. It feels alive. It's about alleviating some of this weight. Some of this weight that we're experiencing or carrying internally is coming from some of these thoughts that we are thinking. Some of these thoughts that we're thinking that are restrictive or holding us down, or I'm I'm seeing this vision of like a matrix where it boxes us in to make us think that that is what it is, but it's not. And it's funny because the card that flew out as I'm talking about this is the Wild Woman, and the energy of this card is all about like tapping back into our like inner like wild, innocent, free being, and allowing it to like rise. You can see it from her heart center. She's dancing. She's just immersed. I'm hearing the word immersed in her own reality, her own beingness, her own experience of life. She's not attached to or confined in a reality that's shaped through the mind. She's in a place of experiencing, right? Because the thoughts, we're not in, the thoughts are external, or not fully here. Okay, sorry, Spirit. Okay. Um, okay, so this is about being so present in your own experience in a moment, and recognizing the beauty of it, the experience of it, the way it feels. I'm feeling the sense of like the wind. Is there wind in here? Yeah, there's some type of like movement, like feeling this wind on my skin and this warmth of the sun on my body. And I'm getting all of these sensations of being alive. And we can only really experience the sensations of being alive when we are fully present, when we are in the moment, where we're not caught in our mind and distracted by what the future could be or what the past was. There's something about presence in that, in our own reality, in the moment reality, when we can release the mind's fixation on, I'm hearing the future or the past or what it is. The mind is confining, whereas the present moment is expansive, it's infinite, it has all the possibilities, it has all the potentials. And that feeling of being connected to the moment, to being alive, to the sensations. There's something about the sensations of being alive, of feeling what happens when you step outside on a beautiful day, and it comes over you with all of these sensations that your body picks up. It brings instant joy to you. I'm getting the sense of, as soon as you step outside and you feel that sunshine and that nice breeze, it it reminds you you're alive. It brings the sensation of the joy of being alive and the simplicity of it. It's not so complicated, I'm hearing. It's not so complicated, right? The mind complicates things, and we are immersed into this place of just constant stimulus in the mind, and it's overwhelming and it's a lot. And so uh, this justice card is coming into place of bringing balance to it's interesting because it's not even about I'm actually getting this as like literal justice, that this ability to step back into the present and to be in the present is a place of power. And when we are in our place of power, it brings justice to situations. It brings justice to what's around us. It alleviates the illusions. It creates the discernment. It drops out of the chaos and allows us to be present. That's what this blindfold is about. The senses are turned on to the point that the mind doesn't have the control. It's about balance, the mind and the body. The body picks up so much communication. The body has so much wisdom in it. And there's something about being alive and being human, and the gift that that is, and the information that that gives you. We're bringing that back into balance. The mind has had too much control for too long, I'm hearing. Yeah, because we're ready to thrive, aren't we? Right? We're ready to feel the sun shining on our face. We're ready to enjoy the sunshine without this weight of worry, mm, this chaos that is just, all I'm seeing it is this whirlwind always being around us at all times, right? It's in our hands. It's all around us. We can't drive down the street or walk to the store or move basically in almost any environment without being interfered with, I'm hearing, by this mind game that is used as a control mechanism to alleviate the ability to be human, because it takes you out of the humanness of your being and basically projects you into a reality that deep down none of us believe is true. This doesn't have to be this way, is what I'm hearing. And we're ready for the triumph. Or, this is it's been a long, it's going to continue, but it's about our ability to discern the reality that we're being bombarded with and the true reality of our day-to-day lives, of our experience of being human. Reality exists now, and that's about it. And so the triumph is in the ability to actually be still or be present in any given situation, to actually be present enough to not feel the trigger or allow the mind to take it, where you actually take in the information, you listen not only with your mind but also with your body. You take in the information because you're present enough to calibrate it, integrate it, and then be able to respond to it. There's a shifting in how we're going to be using our systems into the future that won't allow us to be manipulated or deceived to the same level anymore, because it's strong. The illusion is strong. We're born into it. That was part of the message that I got. We're born into it, right? This isn't like we choose this. We're born into it. We actually have to choose to move beyond it. We need to choose to rise out of it. And we do that by being more present, almost by anchoring more into ourselves, more into our senses of ourselves as human, more into the senses of what it's like just to be in an environment without all the additional stimulation. Okay. Yeah. So we can just sit pretty and feel stable and secure in ourselves, and hold that energy in the reality of whatever we are experiencing, in the reality of the illusion that is trying to be shown to us. We're like, no, I'm stable and secure. You may be using all of this to try and create chaos in my mind about what I should be or who I should be or how I should act or what's happening in the world. There's just, the bombardment is so intense, right? It's so, I'm just seeing it as so many little, I don't, it almost looks like darts in a way, smaller, but each one is different, right? Just slightly. And they're being aimed at every just, it's like throwing darts at a board and seeing what sticks kind of thing. And that's what they do right now, is bombard the systems with so many, that trying to find whatever the little insecurity or whatever the little emotion that can be triggered within us. Whenever they can hit that, then we buy into this reality that we have to be better than or different than we already are, and we're good enough. Frankly, we're good enough. And that stability and security has to be found from within and upheld. And that's where the Ten of Pentacles comes from. It's the sense of stability and security within ourselves. It's really important. And we do that by creating peace in ourselves. So a big part of the message was about the mind, and thinking about the mind, and thinking about the thoughts that we think, and do we even like them? Do we even want them? Right? Are they even true? And this discernment that's taking place now, whether we know it or not, I'm also sensing it as a friction that is occurring for people, because they want, like, we all want this. They want it, you want it, we all want it. We all want stability and security. We all want to be able to live our life feeling like we have a sense of stable ground, of the ability to navigate through anything. And the reason why we're going through such challenging times is because we're all meant to recognize and integrate in the understanding that everything comes from within. If you want to feel stable and secure in your outside world, it must come from within. As above, so below, from within, so without. And we as a collective are in the part of the process of the from within, so without. And what we choose, or how we choose what we are inside, right? Is it based on an illusion, or that we're not good enough, whatever? Or is it based on a reality of we are already enough, we're already good enough, we're already, right? These are two separate realities, and they're splitting apart, and we're all being challenged to decide what side we're on. Is it all is it all falling apart and you have no control, or is it all coming together and you're in full control regardless of what happens? Right there's a splitting of realities, and they both exist fully. They really do. But we create them within our mind first. So our ability to discern and recognize what's happening in our own mind is by far the necessity of now, if you want to be on a path that leads you towards what you know in your soul and heart you deserve to live. There is a reality where we are stable and secure. And it doesn't matter if that's the same reality as the person beside you or around you. You're the decider of your reality. You decide what is true or what is not, and you do it through the mind. And that is why the mind is controlled and manipulated so consistently in the framework of how things work, are supposed to work in our reality. It's there for a reason, because it's a control mechanism. Because if we realized we are the ones who are the deciders, we're going to decide a much different future for ourselves than what they're telling us is going to be. So it's a really fascinating um, understanding or experience that's being promoted here by spirit. And really, it's coming down to just paying attention to your thoughts. What are they? Just tune in. Do you like them? Are they even about you? Are they even about a reality that you like? It's always fascinating. I remember I used to catch my thoughts. I'd be thinking about something great, and then suddenly I'd be in a place where I'd be thinking about a worst case scenario or something like that, and be like, what? How did I even get here? This doesn't even make any sense. I was enjoying these thoughts, and suddenly it just took this turn. And so I needed to become more and more conscious of that turn, and to stop it, or to recognize it, and turn back as quickly as possible, so that my mindset, my thought forms, my train of thought was consistently going in a direction that actually led to me feeling good still, or still good, or positive, or in faith. The thought forms that we have been projected with is intense. So countering them does take discernment and conscious effort, but it's that internal world, right? If we can change, I'm seeing it as like the winds. So I'm envisioning our inside world as our own planet, and we're getting rid of the pollution in our own, we're cleaning up the air. And as we clean up the air, it cleans up the environment. Better rain gets to fall. The state of our inner being gets to feel greater support and more nurtured and more vibrant, because the water that is coming down from our, right, because it's like our thoughts are the air, and the air mixes with the water, and then the water comes down and rains onto the ground, and that rainwater then permeates, penetrates into the earth, and so this cycle starts always in the mind. And so if we're aware of the cycle that it goes through, we know that it starts with air. And so we want to make sure we are cleaning the air in our own minds. We want to eliminate the pollutants, the irritants, the garbage in our atmosphere, so that the emotions that come, right, the rain that falls, the emotion that moves from the airspace down into the earth space, is a type of water that's nurturing, that is supporting, that is allowing the growth and the abundance and the expansion to thrive. So the air element is really under the spotlight right now and really important. Okay, so what is some final card, Spirit? Okay. Oh, interesting. So the one that flew out is exactly what we started out saying. Take a time out. Just take that moment to try and be fully present, where your mind isn't even thinking anything, where you're feeling the sensations. Choose to feel like, how do I feel like my skin feel? How does my, body feel? But we're looking for the sensations that feel good, right? Step outside, allow the nature, anything, take that time out, just go into a place where you're like, whoa, I feel fully present. If you get to that place where you can be like, I feel fully present, and then you take a deep breath in that place, that's you. That's the actual truth. And the reality is, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel stable and secure. It's going to feel peaceful. And that's not a feeling we get to feel very often. So ensuring that we take that time out and give ourselves that space and time, then we know what the feeling is. Then when we know what we're tapping into, then we know that's what peace feels like. And then we crave it more. We want it more, and we will seek it. We give our mind a motivation, a focus, right? That feels good, that we actually want. And just remember, nothing's wasted. So this is also referring to, sometimes we have to really become aware of what we don't want, so that we can direct our attention and our focus to what we do want. Oftentimes we get to that place where it's like, enough, I don't want this anymore, I want this. And we wouldn't have known what we did want if we hadn't gotten to such an extreme point of what we don't want. And that's a lot of what's going on right now. People are hitting limits, but it's not wasted. It's not a wasted experience, because that experience, its whole purpose is to get you to decide what you do want. And it's funny because we don't really know or feel comfortable saying, well, I want this, or because it means you'd have to really know yourself well. And to know yourself well means that you can be present with yourself consistently over long periods of time. And as you do that and you get more safe and secure in yourself, you become really aware of what you want. But it's a different mindset, or a different mind experience completely, than what we're bombarded with every day. And we're making our dreams real. That's the mission here. And we can only do that in presence. We can only do that in this moment now. So the messaging is really clear. Spirit's just really being sure in itself of where our toxins lie. And a lot of it starts with the mind. Okay, so if you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to now read the channeled message. Thank you for staying. If you like this, please let me know down below. So here it is. It says, Dear beings, when it comes to being human, the number one challenge is getting out of your own way. The mind is trained from the beginning to stay on a construct that is built on lack and dependency. It's ingrained that you need outside help, resources, or information or guidance to get what you want. And you need, or what you want and need, but this is never the case. It is you that decides and creates. It is you who produces the results that you see today. It is you that has the power to change it. It is you who has the thoughts, and it is you who takes the actions. Follow the thoughts that you have and see where they are leading. Do you like it? Is it what you would create? Do you even believe the thoughts that you are thinking? Listen carefully first, then decide. Is this truly who I am? You are the being thinking the thoughts. So make sure that you are choosing wisely every chance you get. So choose your peace, choose your love, and choose your support, and choose your actions based on the thoughts that bring you the feeling of stability and strength. Courage is what we find in the face of fear. If your thoughts are in fear, don't do anything. Work through them so that you can get under the fear to where the courage lies, to where that fire is in its purest, most divine form, and allow that courage to rise, then take action. When we take action from a place of courage and strength, whatever we do or create is always for our greatest good. When we do it out of fear, it's not. So it's really cut and dry, I'm getting from Spirit. It's actually really cut and dry. So choose wisely. Fear and love. They're two things, abundance and lack. They're all the same. Choose wisely and choose your actions based in what you would actually want. Is this thought or this action really supporting me in my abundance of peace and love? If you can't say yes to that, don't do it. Wait. Process out those lack and fear first, then move forward. Wow, this is so strong and so clear and so direct. I hope it's okay with you. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.